Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of the Daily Record High School Sports Insider. Sports editor Aaron Dorkson is busy this week with the state dual wrestling tournament. Aaron will be back with his report and much more on the wrestling scene next week. But for now, I'm Mike Plant, Daily Record sports writer, and I'm joined today by a very special guest, Andrew Vogel, who took time out from entering various writing contests to join us today.
Sorry, you're stuck with me today, Plant.
And talk a little bit about girls basketball. Andrew, we just had our regular season signature event, Classic in the Country, just concluded this past holiday weekend down at Highland High School. And our area teams, West Holmes, Highland, and Orville, all fared pretty well down there.
They did. They actually, together, they went 5-0 this weekend. So I'd say that was pretty good. Classic in the Country down, this is the 10th year. It's always a really unique event, and it's grown into one of the biggest girls basketball showcases in the nation. Orville kicked it off in fast fashion. They won 81-48 over Reedsville Eastern, the number 10 team in Division 4. And that was actually the second most points that have ever been scored by a team at the Classic. They actually, it looked like they were going to break the record because they had 81 with a minute and a half left, never got that final bucket. Plyman became the 10th player, Hannah Plyman became the 10th player ever to score 30 or more in the Classic. And when you think about all the girls that have played in the showcase, that's impressive. West Holmes had a very nice weekend as well. They got two big wins over Afrocentric, which was the defending Division III state champion, and North Canton Hoover, a Division I school. West Holmes was behind 32-21 at halftime, but they went on a 41-18 run in the second half. And it was really a big statement win for them. What's impressive about their win was that Lena Snyder only had 7 points in the entire game. She had to pull down 24 rebounds, which was a classic record. But they got 24 points from Rochelle Morrison, and if they beat defending state champions and Snyder only scores 7, that shows you the type of depth that they have and how dangerous they can be. Highland also went 2-0, winning over two big programs in Damascus, which came all the way from Maryland, and Lake. It was interesting, before the Classic, Dave Schleybaugh was saying that he really does try to schedule bigger teams for Highland just so that they can be a challenge, and they know that they're going to kind of be outmanned going into it. But they won both games very convincingly. Regina Huckstiller had 30 points, and just a really two big wins for Highland. Highland and West Holmes both look like they could be in the state semifinals this February.
Yeah, Andrew, while he was down there, he lugged along a video camera and had a chance to talk to some players from Orville and also some from West Holmes. So let's hear those comments now.
Hannah, you said Orville was 1 point off the Classic in the Country record of 82. You guys scored 81. Tell me how the tempo of this game lent kind of to your guys' strengths.
We like to run the ball, so every chance we get, we try to get a board, and once we get the board, we just take off and run. They didn't really press us very much. I don't think they did at all, so that was to our advantage. But every time we get a rebound, we take it out, run, and then that gives us transition points. And then our defense steal. When someone gets a steal, we run and look the other way. So we really wanted to get out and run the ball today, and I think we did a good job. Everyone scored. We did a good job playing together, and it's pretty much just a good fast tempo game. So.
Second half of the year, Maggie.
I think playing together as a team and taking it one game at a time. Like once we lost to West Holmes, we just told ourselves that it's not going to happen again, and we're going to take it from here on out and just make a run. And our motto is unfinished business, and that's what we're striving for the rest of the year. Defense is going to be a huge thing. We're not the biggest team, and we know that, but so far, like today, we played so well on defense, and it shows, and then that also pushes our offense and it carries over, and just staying together as a team and staying close is going to help us.
What really keyed the offensive turnaround in that second half? What did you guys start doing that you weren't doing in the first half?
We took it to them. That's what Molnar and Patty stressed that a lot, that if they're pressuring up on you, that you got to take it to them even harder. And I think we drove a lot, and then when we drove, that made the outside shots open, and then a lot of people knocked some down early.
Thanks for those that fine work you did down there in between you and Kevin Lynch, scarfing up all kinds of barbecue down there in Berlin, which I know they always put on a pretty good show down there.
It is pretty good food down there, I have to admit.
And Andrew's not doing the dirty bird today because his Atlanta Falcons bit the dust over the weekend, but nonetheless, he's ready to forge on with more girls basketball. Let's take a look at the boys now. It wasn't a very good past few days for the teams in our top of the crop, Andrew. West Holmes lost the other night to Ashland. Dalton lost over the weekend, and the Worcester Generals, who had just cracked the top 5, dropped right back out again after two big losses. Although, caveat there for West Holmes, they were again without their star guard Brady Arnold, who missed he's got a bad ankle, which I know they need to get healed up for the postseason. Now they've dropped 2 games off the pace behind Mansfield Senior in the Ohio Cardinal Conference. A couple of teams on the upswing real quick. Norwayne, after a couple tough losses, they lost a real bad one to Orville, then got edged by Dalton. They bounced back. Brady Berger has really stepped up his game and is playing well, along with junior Tyson Stoudemeyer. And a little win streak now has the Bobcats just a game behind Dalton in the Wayne County Athletic League. And another WCAL team, you can read a story in Thursday's Daily Record, the Waynedale Golden Bears. Had a great weekend last weekend. They defeated Dalton and Northwestern on back-to-back nights, giving the Golden Bears 9 out of 10 victories. Matt Kick is having a great season for them, Brandon Hawkins, but with the Golden Bears, Andrew, it's really been a team effort under Eric Reby, who's in his second stint there coaching at his alma mater. And finally, off the beaten path a little bit, we don't talk much about these teams. Kingsway Christian is 11-5. Devin Bottiger averaging 21 points and 12 rebounds a game. And Central Christian has one of our top scorers in the area, and Josh Woodrich, who's also averaging 21 points a game. A couple sports we don't really get to talk too much about. We'll wrap this show up. Swimming and gymnastics. Andrew, I know that you covered a gymnastics meet recently and did a nice feature story on the Worcester High gymnastics team. How are they? They've wrapped up a pretty good regular season.
They finished 9-0 in the Northeast Gymnastics Conference, which is their second undefeated season in 4 years. They've got 5 seniors on the team, led by standout Madison Shank. And interestingly, for those 5 seniors, that when they came in as freshmen in 2009, they went undefeated in the Northeast Gymnastics Conference, and now they go out undefeated, which is really nice. That's a great story for that group. Coach Debbie Knappich just couldn't say enough about the leadership that they've had and the tone that they've set for that program, and that those 5 seniors are certainly going to be missed next year.
Yeah, you can't really say enough about Madison Shank, who happens to be my niece, so no nepotism there. That's why I let Andrew handle that segment. But really, she's worked very hard along with her teammates. That's really, until you actually watch them practice and see what they go through, it's a kind of a rugged sport. So congratulations to the Generals. And staying with Worcester, the swim teams both recently swept the NEAC conference, their swimming conference meets. And last week, they both the boys and the girls swept Jackson, who's always a perennial swim power in the area. One girl of note, Jessica Benezzi, the freshman who's really made a big splash onto the area scene. She defeated Jackson's defending state champion in the 50 freestyle last week. So, Worcester has always had a real strong tradition of swimming. The one thing they've never done is win a state championship. We don't want to put the bullseye on the back of Jessica right now, but it looks like she could have a pretty good shot at getting to state, and then, of course, we never know what's going to happen from there. Well, there you have it for another week of the Daily Record High School Sports Insider with Andrew Vogel. I'm Mike Plant. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.